But my mother was the one that taught me to never, ever, ever let someone tell you something that you don't believe without saying how you feel about it. And, almost where made it to where we might have had almost a somewhat disrespectful relationship because I would talk back. Just because someone gives them authority doesn't mean I'm acknowledging it. So if somebody told me, you can't do that because of this, get out my brain. Because that's not the last thought I'm going to have with my dream, because my mind is powerful. Whatever I see in my mind, I can make happen. So what I'm living in is my dream. I dreamed about coming to London right now. In the past, this was a visualization. I didn't know exactly what I'd be doing in London, but I visualized doing a lot of shit, talking to a lot of people. You understand what I'm saying? So if you can't visualize winning, then you will not win. You didn't understand that. Like, you don't understand. I own this shit. You work for somebody. Talk to me like the boss. And it's crazy how you will talk to the people that don't own shit like the boss. They just couldn't understand what that meant to own my actual equity, to own, have ownership, not sell my rights to something and then let somebody else pay me for my work. That does not logically make sense. So it has to be strategic. So when a cycle continues over and over again without change, it's either insanity or it's intentional. Somebody's losing, which is us, but somebody's winning, which is them. And they're controlling the game. So now we have to make our own game, which behooves us. I'm insane. I don't have any focus. That's the problem. If there is a problem, that is it. I drive my staff and my crew crazy. Every day there's a new idea. I'm inspired, and I want to make it happen tangible, or it bothers me.
And how did that presumably impacts your relationship with authority figures?
It just means I don't care what anybody thinks. So no matter what, regardless to what, you're not going to make me feel as less of who I am. I know who I am. So there was no way that teacher was going to make me feel small just because they were a teacher and I was a student. There was no way that they were going to make me feel less of myself. I was never going to let another person make me feel bad about myself ever again. The last time that happened, I was 4 years old. But what I saw was, as I got older, that this is the way people live their life. Fear what people think of them. And that's the reason why they don't say what they feel. That's the reason why they internalize. And that's the reason why they end up depressed. So as long as you're expressing yourself, as long as you don't care, as long as you're not hurting anybody, there's no pain to feel. It's almost like at that point I sprayed this thing called I don't give a fuck what anybody's thinking spray. And I think that's been the most important thing, is not to care about the judgment of other people.